anybody have anything to say as far as?
I can say something about
Okay.
My name is Terry, the assistant. I'm on the Animal Control Board. I was a token Democrat that was put on there. Wow. I heard one committed suicide 2 weeks ago. That was in Nashville, so
I was the one that put the mayor's out.
Oh, okay. Great, we're moving up. Another 30 years, we're not taking an election. My background is I'm president and secretary of the Humane Society of Tennessee Valley, and I've been on that board for 20 years, thereabouts. I will brag a little bit because I'm kind of proud of this. I was one of the 3 lawyers that made the decision to not renew the contract with Knoxville and Knox County. The result of that was Knoxville and Knox County had to step up to the plate and create Young Leaders, which was a governmental function. And prior to that, the Humane Society of Knoxville had done all the animal business in Knoxville. We took care of the shelter, did the whole 9 yards. And they're the reason we're a no-kill shelter, because there is a kill shelter known as Young Leaders, so that has to be. But before I heard everybody's views and thoughts on these things, I wanted to let you know I'm not without experience in this field. First thing, this shelter and no shelter can survive without volunteer organization. There has to be a working volunteer organization to provide the manpower, the person power, if you want to do the things that governments won't spend the money to do. And that requires a volunteer coordinator that knows what he or she is doing. This shelter will not be successful if we don't have an active volunteer organization that functions. Second point I want to make, I don't think that Abram Baird wanted this facility here simply to act as a means of euthanizing animals. I think he wanted this facility as a means of stopping the need for it and to see that as many animals as could be saved and adopted out. I think that was the goal he explained to me when he recruited me to help with this thing, probably about 2 years before the county actually passed it. And I don't know how long he had been working on this facility before this. A long time, I'm sure. Yeah. So I'm very sympathetic to any help that your organization or the local Humane Society here can provide, because this shelter will need it. And so beyond that, I don't really have a whole lot to say, except that those are things that are needed, and I personally appreciate somebody stepping up to the plate and bringing the issue to the floor. Those are things that I know Betty wants this place to succeed. She's been a big part of this organization. But before any of us are tempted to get polarized in our viewpoints or attempted to create problems where we don't need problems, I just felt like that we all need to not fall into the pattern of Washington, and we need to get along and cooperate with each other and get this organization where it needs to be. We do have a high euthanasia rate. There's no doubt about that. Frankly, I'm not surprised, given where we came from and how hard it's been to get where we are now. So, but I think we do want to improve on it. If we can ever become a North Shore Animal League, it would be in Europe. I don't know that will ever happen. Not in Campbell County.
But we can make some steps.
We can make some steps in that direction. So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
The frame of reference on that is, so what is your budget? It's an animal shelter and you shelter animals, but just to be clear, what is your budget for adoption from the county? 0. So the county mayor has been good enough to allow you to take some time from your employees and the whole shelter in general to promote adoptions. So you do have an adoption program, but it's kind of like you're squeezing it in there's no funding for it. And that's what Dr. Blackwell pointed out. They're the Young Williams governmental or whatever budget for adoptions is also zero.
That the public had to step up and do the adoptions because it is not in our budget whatsoever. And it's states plainly on the ordinance that we are not obligated to adopt or rescue any animal in the shelter.
But you've had an attempt at a program for 2 years? 3 years?
For adoption program? No, it's 2009.
Since inception.
Yeah. Well, and they adopted prior to that.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to talk too much about, before Betty took over, we wouldn't want to talk about how it was running in that area too well. That wouldn't be a good area to go. But she took over, it's entirely different ballgame.
2009.
So, now specifics on that, again, we can't talk about Young Williams. He said they have one grant that's $500,000 a year for adoption. One grant. So that's, what, 3 times your budget? So, now if you can get us that grant, but that is something, that's where we have to start from zero, and it's easy to move forward when you're at zero. And it's a testament to the administration to say, yeah, you don't have to spend 100% of your time doing the sheltering. We will allow you, your employees, your time, we're still paying you, to try to do some adoptions to get them out the door as possible. But I think they will also probably tell us, but your primary job is sheltering of animals, bite investigations, cruelty investigations, and unfortunately euthanasia, et cetera, et cetera. So we're kind of on ground level, and at this funding, moving forward is, so many things are directly proportional funding. Have you noticed that? But that's where, if you got some ideas, or the Humane Society, or some fundraisings, or some suggestions, or anything like that, that would be wonderful. If we can get those started or going or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, could we possibly put forward, get this coordinator person, a couple people in motion and get that started, maybe set up some hours where people could call, maybe go to an area and knock on some doors. I'm more than willing to call some rescues, see if we can do some transport.
Probably need to break down our conversation into adoption. The average person out there that thinks in an adoption program, they're really thinking adopting to the public. Now, you being educated, knowing that there's a lot of other areas of adoptions, or going up north, or going to different areas that are quite efficient, and need to be incorporated in an adoption program, other than Jack and Jill come in the door, they want a new puppy, which is good because those are taxpayers and they're kind of helping fund this place, and it's a way of giving back. So they need to be a priority, but then the priority of trying to save animals is obviously at the forefront. I'll probably, just throwing this out, me doing all the talking here, one thing I tend to think of adopting animals, there has to be some criteria what animal is adoptable. We have adopted them, and I've been actively involved from a medical standpoint. This group in New York wants them vaccinated, worm check, and a health certificate all filled out. The next group just wants to deworm. The next group just wants a health certificate, and there's different criteria there. But all of them want to make sure that it's not recently exposed to parvo if possible, that it doesn't have sarcoptic mange, that it doesn't, anytime you get near the puppy or a cat, you come away bleeding. A very, very uncomfortable rule is established in veterinary medicine shelters everywhere. If it has any known history of biting, whether the kid should have been bitten for pulling his tail and yanking his ears, it doesn't matter. Any known history of biting is a major liability, and whether it's the animal's fault or the cat's fault or the previous owner's fault, it is established in veterinary medicine shelters in the United States is when you go there, when an animal has any form of known history or acts like it's going to bite, it's not going to be on the adoption list. So I guess the big picture is we have to establish some criteria, adoptable and not adoptable.
That's why we cannot take pictures of every animal that comes in. Every animal is not adoptable.
But once you deem it adoptable, can we
Yes,
get
you've got
pictures
to
of
get
those?
pictures.
And the pictures of dogs that are surrendered, people say, I found this dog roaming down the road. Can we not get a picture
No,
of
you
that?
cannot get a picture of that. Not until after 3 days.
But after 3 days, is it time up, can you hold it another 3 days? Okay.
If it's adoptable.
So if it's adoptable, you're gonna hold it 6 days.
Well, or ever how long I
In
have
the
to hold
past,
it.
in the past, you have been holding them as long as 2
We
weeks.
adopted one out yesterday, been here since August the 15th. So, I mean,
But
but room.
Right, that's what I
when
want
you go to
to
the Oak Ridge
know.
Animal Shelter at the end of every day, 1/3 of the cages are empty.
Mhm.
Well, how'd you put those to sleep? Because the next day they'll be filled up. If you didn't put those 1/3 to sleep, you didn't have an empty vacancy of 1/3. When all of them come in tomorrow, they're going to be in the bathroom. They're going to be in Betty's office. They're going to be in that little closet over there. That is a mathematical truth. The director of the shelter, depending on, there's a lot more kitties come spring due to the breeding season. In the winter, sometimes people want to turn them in because it's cold, they're going to freeze, which is better than letting them freeze. So I am not privy to this. She probably knows if you can predict things, and people and animals are hard to predict, but there's ebbs and flows, and sometimes they're coming in. You're back there, somebody comes in, you take one back, you're coming in, it's like a revolving door. Other times, you may be able to keep some longer. You can't always say 4 come in every day or 6 come in every
And you
day.
can always say how long I'll hold them.
Well, you just kind of backed up my thing is that if we can't do the picture of the animal, then we can keep it longer, and if we can't keep it longer than 3 days, then we need a picture.
She would have to mathematically say, there's 3 cats and 5 dogs we can keep for 10 days. But when the next one comes in, we've already got those 5 or 10, that one's got to be put down.
Right.
Because you can't have 14 puppies in one cage there. It's a math thing. And and it would be ideal. Our research when we were building the shelter over at Young Williams, and we went to several shelters, I think they told us in Young Williams, 70% of their dog adoptions were puppies. So if you're a senior citizen dog that comes in, and we got a choice between an 8-year-old something and an 8-week-old something, again, there's some art involved about what's more likely to get adopted. That's not fair. That's not just. But the statistics are, I don't know about you, the average person coming here, oh, I need a new puppy, oh, I want a kitty, things like that. Now, I have some friends in rescue that they only take the geriatrics because they know nobody else will. And that's where rescue groups, and that's where some of these others, if you go to New England and they're hurting for dogs, they will take a 5-year-old dog because there's not a puppy. And again, that goes back to the art of working with the group, what they want, what they'll take. Are they healthy? Can we get them up there?
Yeah, and well, not only what they need, the rescue sometimes takes up to a month to transport them out. It's just a matter of holding them here. And then, we would like to have all of these pictures put on, like petfinder.com, most of the shelters. And a lot of shelters do take pictures of the 3 days. They do because they'll say this animal is available for adoption on such and such date if owner does not claim. Could we do it that way?
Well, what if an owner sees their dog in there?
And they're like, oh boy, there's my dog. I found it before we died.
Well, what I'm trying to say is both sides of it in there, or what if your neighbor sees it in there and goes and gets it, adopts it. So that would be something. But the number we have and how long we can keep them is going to have to be a mathematical formula. Now, and at the end of the day, every one you put in there is in the paper. The next one comes in, you can't bump that one out and euthanize it and put that one in because it's already in the paper. So you see it's like a big machine turning. What is in the design of the shelter, it's one of its weak points.
It's like